Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.
Hello and welcome to BT Sports Vanarama National League Highlight Show. We've got a packed half an hour for you, and later on in the programme we'll be getting the expert opinion of former Torquay United manager Chris Hargreaves. He was with me at the Laithwaite Community Stadium to watch Woking against North Ferriby United, both of them battling relegation. But before we get action from that game, here's what else is coming up in the show. Dagenham stunned as Gateshead hit 5 at Victoria Road. Ricky Miller strikes again with his 3rd hat-trick of the season. And Forest Green Rovers open up a 9-point lead at the top. We start at Dagenham and Redbridge, who've been in scintillating form at home this season. They'd conceded only 3 goals all campaign as they took on Gateshead for the first time in any competition. But the visitors were in confident mood after a 6-match unbeaten run. That confidence showed early on when Sam Jones attempted an acrobatic shot on goal, but the midfielder was unlucky to only hit the post. Gateshead stunned the home crowd by taking the lead on 20 minutes. Jones spinning away from his marker and slotting past Elliot Justin. Dagenham and Redbridge have always carried a threat up front when Oliver Hawkins has led the line. He's scored 11 already this season, but blew this chance to make it 12. 2 minutes after the restart and Gateshead doubled their advantage. Justin failed to follow the flight of Mitch Brundle's free kick, and after that, the wheels came off for John Still's side. A deep corner eventually led to Jones grabbing his 2nd and Gateshead's 3rd. After some pinball in the box, he fired in his 9th for the season as the visitors took full control of the game. Danny Johnson had been in fine form of late, scoring 4 in his last 3 games. He got in on the act from the penalty spot after being brought down by Scott Doe. He fired past Justin to make it 4-0 to Gateshead. Dagenham and Redbridge were heading towards their worst home defeat at this level since 2004 when they lost 5-0 to Accrington Stanley. That scoreline was equalled when Manny Smith volleyed in from close range to cap a miserable day for the title chasers. Gateshead move up to 8th, just 3 points outside the playoff places.
There's not many games as a manager that you do enjoy, because in this league they're all difficult games, but I enjoyed today's performance. I thought from the first whistle we played some lovely football, and having that cushion at the end meant for a change I could enjoy the game, which is very rare.
Oh, well beaten by the best team. I think that's how I can see it. Thought our energy levels were poor, like theirs was good. Our quality was poor, and theirs was good. How our, if you like, luck was poor and theirs was good. All the contributory factors that you need to win a game they had, and we didn't.
Danny Cowley's Lincoln are enjoying their best season since being relegated from the Football League in 2011, averaging 2 goals a game and maintaining a genuine promotion challenge. Despite all that, it was Aldershot who opened the scoring after 10 minutes. Paul Farman did well to stop Scott Rendell's point-blank shot, but could do little about a follow-up header from Idris Kanu. Gary Waddock's side had won only once in their previous 5 and surrendered their early lead when Nathan Arnold ghosted him from out wide before finishing fantastically. Arnold was instrumental in Grimsby Town's return to League 2 last season, scoring the decisive goal in the promotion playoff final. He grabbed his 2nd of the game as Lincoln went into the break 2-1 up. Aldershot regained the momentum after half-time. Che Alexander hasn't scored since September last year, but he'll savour this finish. An excellent curled effort to level the game once more. The visitors' pressure continued and they received their reward when Rendell capitalised on some poor defending to restore their lead. That's his 5th of the campaign. There was to be late drama at Sincilbank, 6 minutes into added time. With the points apparently heading to Aldershot, Lincoln's Mr. Reliable Matt Reed was on hand to fire in his 10th of the season and grab a share of the points. A day to remember for both sets of fans, leaving the two managers to reflect on what might have been.
I just think we got a little bit negative. Obviously, things went against us today. We lost two of our wide players and then two of our key pressers. So we lost them in the early part of the second half. If you can see 3 goals at home, you very rarely win football matches or successful in football matches. So we definitely have to address that. We definitely could have defended better, and that's as a collective effort. That's from the front all the way through the team.
We played very, very well today against a good side. And we controlled the game for good portions of it, and then right at the end we've conceded. But you have a look at the video yourself and make your mind up whether it should have stood on.
You were disappointed with the referee that he allowed play to go on when you had a player injured, or what was your frustration there?
I thought we played very well today.
A bumper crowd of just under 8,000 packed Prenton Park for the visit of local rivals Chester, the largest attendance in the National League this season. Tranmere had won 4 out of 4 since Mickey Mellon's return to the club as manager, keeping them well in the promotion race. Chester came into this unbeaten in their last 5 away matches, but fell behind after 29 minutes. Andy Cook is always a dangerous presence in the box and showed why he scored 11 this season, chesting down before unleashing a powerful shot past keeper Alex Lynch. The hosts were commanding in the first half and extended their lead, albeit in controversial fashion. Referee Thomas Bramall ignored Chester calls for a handball just before on-loan Portsmouth forward Ben Tollett put away his second of the season. It was all going so well for Mellon's men, but on 50 minutes, Tom Shaw left Rovers keeper Scott Davis with no chance from Ryan Lloyd's cross, and Chester were back in the game. Tranmere were dealt a huge blow with 25 minutes to play. Tollett looked impressive, dancing through the Chester defence and went down in the box looking for a penalty. But rather than pointing to the spot, the referee produced a second yellow card for simulation. Despite being a man down, it looked as if Tranmere would hang on. But 3 minutes into injury time, Ryan Assels forced his shot past Davis to equalise. That point lifts Tranmere up to third, but Mellon was left to rue his side's failure to build on their first half performance.
With Dagenham and Redbridge and Lincoln City dropping points, league leaders Forest Green Rovers had the perfect chance to extend their lead at the top when they faced Macclesfield at Moss Rose. They couldn't have got off to a better start. John Askey's team were poor in possession, allowing Darren Carter the time to release Keanu Marsh-Brown. He finished confidently, and Forest Green were ahead inside 2 minutes. That great start was almost ruined, though, after Sam Russell played a short pass to Liam Noble. The defender was easily robbed by Jack Sampson, who decided to go it alone, but to no avail. In the second half, Forest Green pressed for a second, Marsh-Brown showing good pace down the right, before cutting back to Elliot Freer, but keeper Craig Ross was well positioned to stop the shot. Mark Cooper's side never looked like losing their lead and have now gone 11 unbeaten. They've also opened up a 9-point advantage at the top of the table.
It's no surprise Barrow are in the playoff mix as the end of the year approaches. They went into a clash away to Sutton United, unbeaten since mid-August. But Gander Green Lane's been a difficult venue this season for the league's top clubs, with Dagenham and Forest Green among those defeated. A free kick in the first half was sent wide for Sutton by Ross Stern. And it's easy to see why the wing is attracting interest from Eastleigh. Another chance in a man-of-the-match performance came close to shaving another part of the woodwork, the bar. Stern, for now, remains a Sutton player, and Barrow remain unbeaten in 14 National League matches.
Down at the bottom, Woking took on North Ferriby United in a vital game between two sides who look like they'll both face a long struggle this season against relegation. Commentary comes from the two Adams, Virgo and Somerton.
Just been kept in by Ugwu. They chance his own ball. He's done brilliantly. Saraiva! What a chance! Best of the game so far.
Well, Ugwu just doesn't give it up. Great first touch, lays it on a plate. I'm sorry, that should be hitting the back of the net on his favoured left foot.
Wootton. Emerson trying to get to, and he's been brought down as we move into the 3rd minute of added time.
I was talking about the quality of ball into the front two. They are so deep, Woking.
And it's going to be Stephen Brogan to take it for North Ferriby United. Hasn't scored since April of 2015.
Great angle for the left footer as well.
It's Brogan. Yeah! Oh, and it's 1-0 to North Ferriby United. What a beauty of a free kick from Stephen Brogan. It's only his club's 8th league goal of the season, and how they celebrate it.
The minute that left his foot, I knew that was going in the top corner. But that is an unbelievable free kick. And right at the end of this first half, the away side going with the initiative.
Carter, it's a lovely back heel. Time and space here for Murta. Options either side of it. Decides to have a go! Oh, and he was so close. Kept out by the post, and now it's behind for a corner.
That's great pressure there from Carter. Keeps it alive. Initiative to backheel it to Murta. He takes his time. Takes a wicked deflection off Ben Middleton. Strikes it onto the post. He's reacted well in this second half, Woking.
Caprice with a chance to cross, took that chance, had a clear, finds Gozi Ugwu. Almost 10 gone in this second half. Caprice fizzes it into a great area. How has that stayed out?
Carter making that run into the box. Strikes it brilliantly. Unbelievable how he's missed that, youngster.
The goal that is the difference between these two teams right now is only North Ferriby United's 8th in the league this season. Astonishing, really. But one goal might be enough for them. We shall see. As the shot comes in, it's not enough. It's a late equaliser for Woking.
Wriggles out of a challenge, gets that shot on target, beats Watson at his near post.
You know, I'm gutted for the lads again because, you know, without being, you know, you don't come away from home and, you know, dominate the game. We've come here and we've dug really deep, and I feel for the lads again, but like I say, it's just killed us last minute goal again.
Chances we created here today, we are sitting in the league position, which is not false. You're sitting in the league position because you're not good enough and you're not consistent enough. But if you create that many chances in any game of football, any level, you've got to be taking them. And this league's about both penalty areas.
Solihull Moors were looking for their first win under new manager Keith Birchin following the departure of Marcus Bignot to Grimsby against an informed Dover and their red-hot striker Ricky Miller. But things started sourly for the visitors as Jack Parkinson slipped and tripped up Andy Brown when he was through on goal to draw a straight red, reducing Dover to 10 men in the 26th minute. Solihull took advantage just before half-time as Brown headed in an Amari Sterling-James cross for his 5th goal of the year. National League leading marksman Miller then found his scoring touch in the second half, equalising after Ross Lafayette had flicked the ball through. 7 minutes later, it was Miller again, this time slipping behind the defence and finishing to put Dover 2-1 up. And the visitors didn't stop there. Lafayette hit the post with his effort before Miller rushed through to complete his 3rd hat-trick of the season. He now has 21 goals in all competitions. Solihull collected a late consolation goal as Akwasi Asante hit this well-timed volley for his 8th of the season, but it wasn't enough as boss Birchin began his new career with a loss.
The boys trained well, and as I say, I think first half performance was more than I could have hoped for, and unfortunately we just couldn't keep it going through the second half.
Southport's early season woes seem far behind them as they look to continue their fine run of form against Maidstone at the Merseyrail Community Stadium. Steve Burr's men got off to a superb start. Jordan Lussey's corner was headed back towards the area by Liam Nolan, and Jamie Allen put them ahead. The lead was doubled right before half-time. Lussey again the provider with another corner, which Nolan converted to make it 2-0. And things got worse for Maidstone in the second half. Nolan lofting the ball to Allen, who brought it down outside the box and beat two defenders before slipping it in past Lee Worgan for a 3-0 advantage, his 5th goal of the season. But Maidstone didn't give up. The Southport defence failed to clear Bobby Joe Taylor's left-wing cross, and Yemi Odubadi clawed one back. Southport continued to dominate but conceded again in stoppage time. Alex Flisher was brought down inside the box by Josh Thompson, and Bobby Joe Taylor put away the spot kick for his 5th goal of the campaign. Despite the late wobble, that's 3 wins in a row for Southport. 5 weeks ago they were bottom of the table. Now they're 3 points above the relegation zone.
Guiseley avoided relegation with a dramatic victory over Torquay on the final day of last season, and the points were needed just as badly when Kevin Nicholson's men arrived at Nethermoor Park for another key game. The home team, with just 2 wins to their name so far, were off to a flyer. Connor Brown crossing for Jordan Preston, who controlled the ball well before slotting it past Brendan Moore. Guiseley piled on the misery for the visitors as Will Hatfield's floated cross was headed home by Jake Cassidy's to make it 2-0 within the first 20 minutes. It could have been worse. Cassidy had a chance to add a 3rd from the spot after Luke Young brought down Hatfield. But his penalty was well saved by Moore. That's 7 defeats in the last 10 for Torquay, and boss Nicholson was not a happy man.
I feel totally let down today by the players. We're fantastic for 2 weeks of preparation, and then when it came to it, when it really mattered, they won't listen. They allowed Guiseley to physically dominate them, and then after that they allowed Guiseley to play around them. And in the first half it was as bad as it's been when I've been here, I think, and it's not disappointing, it's worse than that.
Wrexham were unbeaten in 4 under new manager Dean Keats, but struggling Braintree came into this one boosted by a 7-goal thrashing of Eastbourne, which has put them into the FA Cup's second round for the first time. It looked as though Wrexham had seized an early advantage when a shot from Jordan Evans hit the back of the net, but the effort was disallowed because of an offside decision against Sean Harrod. Braintree made the most of that escape when the hosts failed to defend a long throw. Jake Goodman headed back for an unmarked Michael Cheek to nod past on-loan keeper Luke Coddington for the game's only goal. That was just a 4th win of the season for Hack and Hay Retton's men, who are still in the relegation zone.
York City were without a win in 10, their worst ever run at this level, as they travelled to the Silver Lake Stadium to take on Eastleigh for the first time in their history. And the hosts piled on the pressure in the early stages, former Oxford man James Constable pouncing on this chance to put Eastleigh ahead, but an offside flag meant it was still goalless at the break. Ronnie Moore's men came out for the second half with purpose. Michael Mandron heading in his 6th league goal of the season from Andy Drury's cross. York were on the back foot throughout the second half as they tried to repel the Eastleigh attack, but against the run of play they grabbed a surprise equaliser in the 77th minute. Danny Holmes slipping the ball through to Simon Heslop, who kept his cool to slot it home. Still no win for York, but relief that they salvaged a draw. Frustration for Eastleigh as they dropped valuable points at home once again.
Boreham would have been one of the league's form teams on the road this season, unbeaten on their travels until their last away game. Their visit to Hayes Lane generated little excitement until a sudden moment of brilliance. Some good build-up play from Bromley, which led to a Dan Johnson cross dispatched in style by Dave Martin. Wood, however, had their chances in the second half. Bruno Andrade was brought down by Jack Holland after an hour of play. Penalty. But Alan Julian produced a stunning save to deny Connor Cody the equaliser. Boreham would stay in the top 10 despite defeat, while Bromley move up to 15th, their highest position of the current campaign.
So all teams have played 19 league games, 4 teams have played 20, and one of those is Forest Green Rovers, who've extended their lead to 9 points now with the win at Macclesfield. Lincoln, well, they needed an injury time goal for that 1 point in a 6-goal thriller against Aldershot. And Tranmere leapfrogged Dagenham and Redbridge after perhaps the biggest talking point of the weekend's games, a 5-0 defeat at home to Gateshead. Bottom of the table then, we've had wins for Braintree, Guiseley and Southport, and then a point apiece for Woking and North Ferriby after the 1-1 draw today. North Ferriby then 4 points away from safety. Chris Hargreaves alongside me. Chris, a quick word first of all on today's game, Woking against North Ferriby. I suppose a mixture of relief and frustration.
Yeah, a hammer blow to North Ferriby because you think in the 93rd minute you've done it, but on the balance of play, Woking had enough chances to win 2 games. But they fought for the manager, North Ferriby, and that's a good sign. So lick the wounds, 2 draws, and try and get that win next week.
How big of a shock is it that Dagenham and Redbridge went down 5-0 against Gateshead at home?
Yeah, big shock, but they have got some young players in the team. They have got some inexperience, so it will happen occasionally. Very experienced manager. You know, I expect a reaction next week. I think they'll be there at the end of the season. I'd say it's a blip, no more.
We've seen 2 teams obviously struggling in the relegation zone at the moment. Is one of the other teams you have concerns for perhaps York, who are now 11 games without a win?
Well, we keep saying that they'll get out of it and they'll start their push. Something's wrong there, isn't it? Good training facility, big club, decent attendances. Maybe the manager's eventually will get his philosophy across. You know, he's had success there before, so I expect him to do it, but at the moment they are underachieving, probably the biggest underachievers in the league.
And Forest Green leading the way, 9 points clear.
Yeah.
They'll be mightily happy, of course, and doing very well this season.
Yeah, again, expectation for them, but they're at the right end of the table. Who would bet against them at this moment in time? You know, playing well, very, very ambitious chairman. Talk of the new wooden stadium that everyone's looking forward to, and again, it's a team that, you know, once you get that momentum, once you get 5, 6, 7, 8 points ahead, it's hard to tag them back. So very confident about Forest Green.
And that is where we go next week. Top of the table clash, and we're looking forward to this one. Forest Green against Lincoln, live from the New Lawn from 11:45 with Matt Smith. That's about all we've got time for this week on the National League Highlight Show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.